You know, I have only one thing to say about just the state of comic book movies, specifically the state of comic book movies in the early 2000s up until about 2008. And I think it can be summed up with this.
Everything's on fire! Oh my god!
Yeah. There were very few, if any, good comic book movies being released outside of, because that's the thing. The X-Men franchise had fallen off with X-Men Origins Wolverine. Then, of course, you had Daredevil, Elektra, and then you had, like, at this point as well, I would also say, like, the only mainstays that were good were, like, the X-Men movies and the first two Spider-Man movies. And then, like, after 2005, it was just like everything went off of a cliff in terms of quality up until the MCU started spinning up their wheels with Iron Man, which, no one expected Iron Man to be as good as it was. Everyone was expecting it to be god-awful because that just seemed what the trajectory of video game, or what of, like, comic book adaptations were on. And surprisingly, we have...
It's ended up being one of, like, the most uniquely written and great movies of all time, in my opinion.
I agree. It's one of my favorite comic book films ever. And it still holds up.
It has a completely different vibe from, like, the way that they tried to do every superhero movie before that, and it works so well.
Yeah. And in the midst of all this, 20th Century Fox, who had their hands on the Fantastic Four intellectual property at the time, they tried to do 2 Fantastic Four movies. Both of them were meh. Both of them were kind of meh. I mean...
I think the Fantastic Four is meh in general. Sorry to piss off anybody who's a Fantastic Four fan. I just never really cared for them.
And that's fine. That's fine for you to think that way. But for me, whenever Iron Man came out, there was a desperate play to try and like redo comic book movies, like all these like comic book franchises. The Amazing Spider-Man. They tried to redo it with Andrew Garfield, and the first one was okay. Second one not so okay. And then they did X-Men First Class. That kind of worked. But then they did Fant4stic, aka Fantastic Four. And yeah, this is not good. This was directed the behind the scenes and the production of this film are legendary at this point for how tumultuous it was. Because studio heads were wanting to do one thing, Josh Trank, the director, was wanting to do something else, and in the middle of all that were the actors who basically were sick of dealing with the bullshit from both sides and were just like, fuck it. We're like, I don't even care anymore. And by the end of it, no one was happy with this film. No one liked this film. And everyone involved with it has done everything that they can to distance themselves from it and just say, no, I never did that. I do not associate myself with that film. So yeah, Fant4stic, and we're gonna watch Doug rip it to shreds. Please, Doug, tear this film asunder and leave no doubt as to how horrible it was. Here we go. By the way, you and I talked about Johnny Quest. That intro is a tribute to the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, which I love that.
Except it's red instead of green.
Yeah. And Doug himself has admitted that he, like, as much as he thought the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest was good, the intro got him, like, pumped every time he heard it. And
The intro's dope.
oh, yeah.
There's like I could make like a top 30 like
Show intros?
show intros from like the 90s and 2000s. Like
I could too, yeah.
because there were so many good ones.
Oh, yeah. SWAT Cats
Every
has
once
got
in
to
a
be
while,
up
I
there.
just like to go back on YouTube and just watch intros to shows. Like I've done it with my friends on Discord before. It's just entertaining as fuck because they're all so good.
SWAT Cats, Gargoyles. I mean, dude, Darkwing Duck. There's so many great intros, man.
Batman the animated series.
Yeah, Batman the animated series, yeah.
X-Men the animated series.
Justice League. I mean, dude, so many great ones.
Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Oh yeah, there's a litany, and I'd love to do a list like that one time. Maybe we'll do it. Who knows? No. Body parts and bones.
Hey guys, remember when we were a superhero team?
Surprisingly, no.
Yeah, you'd think we'd remember something like that.
You mean you have no recollection when a meteor smashed into Earth? Gave us incredible powers, forming the trio of the adequately impressive three, and then we just sat around and watched Daredevil on Netflix?
Yeah.
The clips helped us remember.
Why didn't we do anything after that?
Well, we did have that unpleasant encounter with the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, but that was so bad that everyone forgot it.
As they should. But maybe we've forgotten what it means to be superheroes.
What do you mean?
What if we did it again? What if we brought back the adequately impressive three, only this time we did it right?
How?
We'd be darker, grittier, and more realistic, which, as we all know, immediately equals better. No more pixelator, clobberer, or sparky boom man. Together, we shall be Malcolm, Tamra, and Nostalgia Critic.
Wait, what happened to our superhero names?
We're too edgy for that. We don't need them anymore. And together, we shall become...
Oh, I see. You let the
Adthrquithrilly impressive three.
Read it like Leech speak.
3 through 3.
title display our name so we wouldn't have to say it out loud.
Exactly.
That's really embracing our brand with pride.
And enough of this bright, colorful background.
Hey, we're in a dark room.
Our lives are a dark room. One big dark room.
My God, Critic, this is so different. What are we gonna do with the new us?
This time we're gonna get it right. We're gonna sit around and watch Jessica Jones on Netflix.
Is this a metaphor for something? Oh!
How are you guys still not fighting crime? Quiet, Rob! Can't you see we're brooding? But you're doing the same thing you did last time.
No, we're doing it in a darker room.
Just because you're doing the same thing in a dark room does not mean you're still not doing the same thing. Of course it does.
Being dark and unpleasant always equals more sophisticated and faithful.
Just look at the original source material. Doesn't that just scream dark rooms and gritty realism?
My God, no, it
Doesn't
doesn't.
at all.
No.
Let me guess. You just saw the last cinematic version of Fantastic Four. No. Just saw the last cinematic version of Fant4stic.
Yeah.
Fox's disastrous reboot of the Fantastic Four franchise was not only a critical, audience, and box office portal of suck, but even the director expressed his disappointment on Twitter before the film came out. Man, there's ouch, and then there's... This would be the 4th time the Fantastic Four was botched cinematically. And it's sad that with such an impressive amount of failures, the most accurate representation is this one.
What kind of a thing have I turned into? What have you done? What have you done?
Yeah, they get that bad. So, while you focus on what's most important, perfecting your brooding pose,
for me.
Well, not to review.
Oh, Rob.
This is Fantastic Four. The film opens with the Fox logo flashing the letter F, similar to how they flashed the letter X before the X-Men films. Honestly, if you want to give us any assurance, you'd flash this.
Yeah, with literally the crew working on the film rebelling against your decision to not make the film and release the footage, release the test footage anyway, causing the internet to go asunder and be like, oh my gosh, we need to make this. And then you going completely hands off and cutting the budget up as much as you could, being like, oh yeah, we're going to give you $100 million. Actually, no, wait, we're only going to give you $80 million. $75 million. $68 million, and that's all you're getting. And they still knocked it out of the park. Fox, that's not a victory. You didn't get Deadpool right. Ryan Reynolds, Paul Wernick, and Tim Miller were the ones who, like Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, were the ones who saved that film. And Tim Miller. All of them did great work.
We see a young Reed Richards
I'm
getting
convinced
distracted by a
Deadpool has only stayed good because, like, Ryan Reynolds and his friends are, like, passionate about it.
Oh yeah, well dude, I mean, once again,
They refuse to let it be trash.
Yeah, Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, and Ryan Reynolds, they know what the fuck to do to keep Deadpool interesting. And as long as they're hitting home runs, honestly, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
scientific ideas at school. Don't you know? American high school is where ideas go to die.
Earth to Richards.
Beat me up, Scotty.
He needs one of those little things to help him hold his pencil the right way.
Yeah, because he's doing the whole...
Yeah, he's holding it with, like, every finger. Like,
Yeah.
it's not at all accurate and doesn't give you any control over it.
No.
Always wins over an entire class. We see his teacher, Homer Simpson. No, really.
Yes,
it's the
literally,
voice
it's Dan
actor,
Castellaneta. Yeah.
Random. Is not happy with his future.
No, it's because Fox owns The Simpsons. Therefore, they have him under contract. And they have said, hey, Dan, you want to make some money? Yeah, sure, why not?
Goals.
I want to be the first person in human history to teleport himself. It's already possible to transport quantum information from one location to another.
Even if you could build a thing.
I've already built it.
I am also working on a foolproof way to keep DD out of my room.
The assignment was to pick a real career in the real world.
Why can't you be a nuclear safety engineer, or an astronaut, or mayor, or country singer manager? I can keep going. I've had over 188 jobs. You think your franchise is running on fumes? Shoo!
But his friend Ben also seems to be having trouble when he goes home to a dysfunctional family.
Hey, clobbering's time. Come here. What'd you think?
Yay, that lighthearted phrase is from an abusive household.
Yeah, that was
But
a
Reed
weird
says
one.
he can get him out of this movie. I mean situation. He just needs a power converter for his flux capacitor. I mean remake of Explorers. I mean teleporter. Actually, flux capacitor would sound more reasonable at this point.
Don't blow up. Don't blow up.
Ah, what every producer said when this movie premiered. Holy smokes, I made weed! We're gonna be the Fantastic 420! Years go by and the two are ready to try their experiment again at the science fair.
It modulates the frequency of matter from one location to another and back again.
Marge, the eggheads are saying the word things again.
It's a
All of a sudden, no, Critic, you should have just had the one with him, with Homer leaning out the window of the car going, nerd!
Yeah, whatever, nerd. When are you guys stretch already?
You may want to cover your ears.
The experiment makes the teleport to a location they're not sure of, so there's no proof it actually teleported. But it does result in a sonic boom so powerful it destroyed the basketball hoop. So, hey, that's gotta count for something.
You're disqualified.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
This is a science fair, not a magic competition.
So, magic destroyed the basketball hoop. Jesus, what does it take to impress you, Homer?
It only transports matter.
Well,
you mean the thing that everything in the universe is made up of? That kind of matter?
Cool if it transported more than just matter.
Thank God the director of a government-sponsored research institute working on interdimensional teleportation just happened to be there.
So?
No, really.
Yeah, that's who I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Really, someone must have been eating Lucky's pubes to have that happen.
I think you've cracked interdimensional travel. We're from the Baxter Foundation. We'd like to give you a full scholarship.
I was going to give a grant for that papier-mâché volcano, but I guess this is a little better. They take him to a school so high-tech they can't fully light their hallways as Reed tries to get friendly with the director's daughter, Sue Storm.
So you like music? Is that kind of like your thing?
Oddly enough, no. What, sounds that form melodies, is that still a thing?
There's patterns in everything and everyone.
What's mine?
You want to be famous?
Am I that predictable?
Well, when you're in this movie, it's hard not to be.
If such a...
Victor Von Doom is on here.
Yep, you heard that correctly. This dark
I'm second
gritty
guessing myself, but that's got to be her. What's her name?
Kate Mara.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh-huh. That's right. One and the same.
Yeah, it's like I recognize her heavily from American Horror Story.
Mm-hmm.
Realistic version still has a guy
Toby
named
Kebbell.
Von Doom in it, because Professor Von Evil Nasty wasn't obvious enough. Nevertheless, Storm is still convinced he should be brought on to the project.
So someone stole my design. No one stole anything, Victor.
Bullshit, you know Borat and Peter Dinklage stole my face. Hell, we even make a joke about it later.
I'm sorry, this is Borat.
Figure, seeing how our box office will be on par with Bruno.
Ooh.
Who's that?
Victor.
Who's Victor?
And why did I notice him when literally nothing makes him stand out at all? Even the shot isn't composed so that you'll focus.
Yeah, it's like they edited the
Yeah, like where in the shot is Victor?
right there. Like it should have been him walking through here because your focus is focused here, not here. But instead, it's like they cut the they edited.
Fucked up the rule of threes there.
Yeah, not only that, but
he's in the like side third of the shot.
Yeah, when he should be here, where the
Not to
focus
mention
square
this dude's
is.
focused in the foreground before him. So like,
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, I guarantee you, during the editing, they didn't edit this part properly, and they didn't notice it.
they didn't have a good shot probably to put in there either. Like that's probably the problem.
Probably, I don't know.
Close up of him like standing behind like his computer or whatever.
Yeah, they could have done like a bunch of different B-roll shots
So
that
must
could
have
have
been, like,
clicked over to
This
him.
wide shot would have been an okay first shot, and then it zoomed in on him, like, you know, standing there. It's like, who's that guy?
Well, here's the thing: he's not working on his computer; he's walking.
Oh, he is.
So that you'll focus
Yeah,
on
he
him.
is.
Yeah. So they didn't have a good enough shot of him walking here, and I guarantee you, maybe something happened and they didn't get a good shot of him here, or they just forgot about it and just didn't fix it in post. Dude, this is basic shit. Do you know how many cuts we went through on our film before we were comfortable with it? At least like 50. Like, that I could think of, where Jacob and I literally went through tediously looking at every frame and just be like, we should cut this one back a couple more frames just so that it lingers on this a little bit longer because we really want this image to set it. Like, dude, and we made that on a budget of, like, basically a stick of chewing gum and a roll of duct tape compared to what these people had. These people have hundreds of millions of dollars at their disposal, and this is the best you get. Woo!
I'm more likely to think this guy is Victor. This is our villain, folks. Even the movie forgets he's supposed to be important.
Rudimentary.
They do see images, though, from the parallel dimension that they're trying to get to.
It's beautiful.
You can tell by the investment in my voice. They hope this new world can save our current one, as I'm assuming Earth is being drained of its color by FBI's most wanted terrorists.
It's a whole new world. Which can help save this one.
Not that it deserves to be saved.
Dr. Doom over here.
See, I don't even know how to take that. Was she making a joke or just calling him by his name? It's like calling your bad guy Doctor, you're a monster. There'd just be some confusion down the road. But it turns out Storm has
Like,
another
if they were to
son named
pronounce
Johnny.
it differently, perhaps, like if his name was Dr. Von Doom.
Dr.
Or something like that. you
Dr.
know, and like they went with Dr. Vondum. It was his name, and like eventually, like he changed it as like his like evil villain name. It's like, I will no longer be Vondum. I will be Dr. Von Doom. You know.
Or he could take
Like,
that reference of her making that joke and just be like, "What's wrong? I thought you once called me Dr. Doom."
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, I don't know. There's something that you could do with it, man. Also, Johnny, played by, once again, Hollywood.
Victor Vondum, like, still works. It's like the alliteration and everything. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't sound as stupid.
Yeah. Also, Johnny Storm being played here by Michael B. Jordan, a.k.a. Hollywood. Hollywood doesn't know which black dude to cast in a movie, so let's just go with him.
Who's a reckless troublemaker. In this scene, he is literally never reckless or causes trouble throughout the rest of the film.
Well, you're not getting the car back.
Excuse me?
You're gonna have to earn it. You're gonna have to come work for me.
I'm not wearing a lab coat.
So Johnny joins a world-changing experiment to get his car back. Because, you know, life. And is reintroduced to the team.
Is that Adolf? Long time.
You don't need to make fun of his name. It does it quite naturally on its own. They have their little making stuff montage, complete with doo-doo-doo-doo music. And it appears they've made a lot of progress.
It's like discount Hans
I
Zimmer.
gotta say, it's fun having you here.
Did we miss that part? Not kidding. There has never been
Yeah, they
one
glossed
moment of
over it.
any of these characters smiling except for one shot in the montage where they're eating and not saying a word to each other.
Yeah, and this is, once again, why I want to see Josh Trank's version of the film. Because, as much as well, here's the thing. Josh Trank, after this film, basically got blackballed by Hollywood. Because, here's the thing. You remember the movie Chronicle, right? About the kids that fell into the cave and found this thing that gave them telekinetic powers and shit like that?
Don't think I ever watched it.
It is really, really good. It actually has Michael B. Jordan in it. And it actually is like one of his first like big roles where he was like in the leads, or one of the leads. And when they hired him onto this, they basically wanted him to be a foot soldier, but he wouldn't do it. And he wanted to make his own version of the film. And basically, 20th Century Fox was just like, well, he didn't do what we wanted, so basically we're just going to ruin everything about it. But here's the thing. Josh Trank did rub some of the cast members the wrong way, and him and Miles Teller, the guy playing Reed Richards here, almost got into a fist fight on set. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe those frustrations boiling over from, like, the hellacious production, or just two people at odds with
Could
each
have been
other.
him taking out his stress on the cast, like, because he couldn't really backlash at the producers.
Well, yeah, and also keep in mind, Josh Trank, when he made this was his first huge, big budget film. They gave him like over $100 million to play with, and basically, he probably had the executives yelling in his ear every day about it. Like, this is not what we wanted.
That's the thing you have to be careful about. You can't take your problems out on other people that don't deserve it.
Exactly.
You have to learn not to do that. If you have a problem doing that, like, it's not fair.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, just because the production company is screwing you doesn't mean you have to screw your cast.
Is the movie's idea of building chemistry literally building chemistry?
Look, don't get used to this. I'm just here to get my car back.
You don't understand. We had
The thing
Chinese
is, if you
food.
built a good relationship with all these people, you could end up getting all of them to come with you to work under something else to maybe make a passion project in the future. But
Maybe.
he burnt bridges probably by being a dick to him.
Yeah, I mean, his biggest connection with this film, Josh Trank's biggest connection was Michael B. Jordan, and as far as I know, him and Michael B. Jordan haven't worked together since, so I don't know.
And do music.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our first action scene. The time has come to test the portal on an unrendered model from Space Chimps. They would have used a real monkey, but apparently sitting in a chair was too dangerous. And it seems to be successful. But it turns out they don't want to
Monkey
use
kind of looks
the
like the oh no monkey. Oh no.
Just, yeah, I would use a soundboard clip, but nah, it's not worth it.
Enters for the first human teleports. Doesn't that kind of go without
That's
saying?
the thing, too, is if you're going to keep using that thing, you need to update it with modern memes.
True.
You got stuff from like 3 or 4 years ago on there right now.
I tried to get stuff that's like timeless, but
yeah, a lot of memes are not timeless though. They die eventually.
Some of them are.
Become outdated.
Well, that's not on here, but that one's still.
We have to start thinking about sending men.
Us?
I think it's time to start coordinating with our friends at NASA.
Oh, hey, thank you.
The shuttle to the moon wasn't invented by Neil Armstrong. They even make a reference to that later.
You guys know who built the Apollo spacecraft? Went to the moon? But you know who Neil Armstrong is, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, why did you think you were going?
Unless we go first. Why don't we go first? I got this thing works.
Yes, let's screw up a history-making experiment for your egos. I'm sure this will in no way... You know what? Hold on a second. Turn on a light!
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get that out just once. I'm sure this will in no way muck everything up. But in order to destroy everything they worked for, our 3 scientists need one more to go with them. Well, I'm sure you're all thinking of the same brilliant mind who had such a big impact, Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Ben.
Yeah, not Sue. Ben. Why Ben?
Because, you know, why the hell not? He has no scientific mind, done literally nothing, and outed himself as so useless that he just left Reed before they even started building it.
Yeah. We're going away, President. I'm just going to school here. Looks like you're home, buddy.
So, of course it should be him.
Look, Ben. I need you to come, because we're going tonight. I told the guys that I'm not going without you. Okay? Who's going to have my back?
Oh, yeah. Broom Handle Arms is really going to be trouble for any danger out there.
Yeah. But Jamie Bell...
What? I feel like...
What?
It's strange to me.
What?
Maybe Sam Lake kind of, like, thought there was potential in the beginning of this movie, but obviously it wasn't good. Because I feel like Sam Lake ripped some vibes of this off for the beginning of Quantum Break.
To an extent.
This is giving me vibes of the beginning of Quantum Break right now. Like, very heavily.
To an extent, yeah.
Surely he must be drunk.
You basically got an outside character that's coming in on an experiment that he really has nothing to do with, just because his friend wants him to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You got like a villain type character for sure, like
Yes.
working with them and shit. And you got like a big crazy experiment that like they're like, yeah, we should just go ahead and do this because they're not gonna fund it and stuff like that. You know, they're trying to shut it down.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like in big room, like this just kind of atmosphere and stuff. Quantum Break starts kind of like this. It's strange.
Yeah, I am a little drunk.
Even more reason to do it. Why didn't the moon landing go this way? Houston, I'm so plastered, and I know one chick scientist worked really hard on this and everything, but my buddy owned a junkyard, couldn't protect me to save either of our lives, and bros before hoes. Scientifically, this has to be done. Hey, look, an asteroid. Let's go give it a kiss. So they traveled to this new dimension to discover it's just as dark and bland as our world.
It's amazing. We did it.
Don't you dare take off your Sub-Zero mask. If we come across Reptile in this outworld, we want to be evenly matched. But here's something I bet you never thought they would come across in this movie. Something. Yeah, goddamn something. I bet you thought they would never get to that in this film. My God, Mountain Dew is working on another new flavor.
Don't let it touch you, or most of all, drink it!
Victor gets left behind. Ben is
Yeah, by
covered
the
in
way,
Cadbury
scientists
eggs
would
and
not
soup.
touch something like that with their hands, even if they were gloved.
Yeah, because most scientists aren't stupid.
It's like you would take readings and shit and try to get an idea of what the hell that is before you went anywhere near and touched it.
It's like, hey, what is it? Oh shit, it's primordial muck
First
that will
thing you
change
would-
our. They'll change our makeup of our DNA and will make us superheroes.
I'm gonna touch it.
Exactly.
At that point, I would be like, I'm gonna touch it.
Next thing you know, it's like Nick. What did we learn? Next thing you know, you're elephantitis man, whose power is like you can give yourself elephantitis.
I'd be like, I got screwed over by the primordial goop that gives you superpowers. That's what I learned.
Yeah, and here I sit. It's just like, Nate, what's your superpower? A micro penis man.
I'm gonna go touch it again.
It's like, redo.
Mm-hmm.
Who, despite not being there, somehow gets affected as well. Sorry,
That
babe,
doesn't
it's
make
what's
any
most up for
sense.
man. You just get our gamma parts. Life is fair.
No, it ain't.
It turns out Reed can now stretch incredibly far. I dare even say we call him Mr. Fant4stic. No, just kidding. That'd be just like a comic book.
Johnny.
Boy, the origin story for Flame Princess is a lot more intense than I thought it'd be. Sue, of course, gets invisible powers, and Ben looks like an uneaten rockbiter Cheeto.
Reed, what happened to me? I don't know. But I'm gonna figure this out. Shit! Ben, I'm coming back for you, I promise!
And by come back, I mean abandon you, not help you in any way, and never return. Theirs is a complicated love.
Yeah.
Is that really what happens?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I know. It's stupid. Once again, I want to see Josh Trank's version because I wonder what exactly Fox did to fuck up his version of the film.
Seems like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of weird decisions made with this that probably weren't in the original version.
Probably.
Hey, look, a dark room. I haven't seen that yet.
Where is Reed? Reed's gone. You want to find a cure? We have resources here.
Okay, so this is particularly interesting. We just got done with a scene showing pretty much what Ben looks like. A cookie turd shit out by the rock monster from Galaxy Quest. Yet for some reason, they keep his identity a secret here, even though we clearly already know what he looks like. The rooms being dark have already been pretty pointless, but this movie found a black hole of pointless. Like there's already no point, and yet somehow it creates even less of a point.
Yeah.
Is it too late to call them the
And
all-around
that's probably
uninteresting-
another shitty editing / stupid studio decision. Like that was probably meant to be his original reveal right there.
Yep. But instead, it's just like
But they ruined it in the previous shot, like of him in the previous scene.
Yeah.
Testing dark blur for? To make things even stranger, we're almost at the 1 hour mark, and only now have they changed into their hero forms. Most of them just woke up, and suddenly it's 1 year later. Ben is fighting for the army. Johnny has just figured out how to shoot fireballs.
Why
Sue
would you
can turn
time
herself
skip?
and other things.
There shouldn't have been a 1 hour lead up to this, though.
No.
Sure. This should have been like a 25-minute lead up at most.
Yeah. And from what I understand, that's exactly what Josh Trank had. Josh Trank had basically a fast track to them getting their powers, and then shenanigans happening.
Things invisible while also creating force fields, and they want to harness this power so they can go back to the parallel dimension to get even more powers.
The other sad thing about this movie is I don't hate their effects.
No, I don't either.
It doesn't look like shit, like, compared to a lot of superhero films that suck.
Yeah.
Like, if they had have made a coherent story and good decisions, I feel like there's definitely something here for sure. So.
You think I'm paraphrasing there? What'd it take? Maybe a minute for me to say? It takes the movie the exact same amount of time to get all that information at you. Yeah, most of the superhero stuff is done in 1 goddamn minute. And it's not even in the forefront.
For comparison,
See, Ben doing all
the
this cool
quantum
action.
break-in draw I was talking about, it's about 15 to 20 minutes long. Like,
Yeah.
Shit really hits the fan. So.
Yeah, and that's what, and that's how long of a game? A 10-hour game?
I don't know for sure, but yeah. It's I don't think it's super long, but
yeah, but the point remains just like when
they get to the point.
Yeah, exactly. They get to the point.
Yeah.
It's just like we don't go through all this tedium of the people standing in dark rooms just being like, we're gonna do stuff. We're gonna do stuff. We're gonna do stuff.
I
We're
like
gonna
the
do
way
stuff.
that Iron Man doesn't get to the point because it's all really good character building leading up to.
Well, it's because Tony's an interesting character on his
Exactly.
own, and his life is interesting. Like he leads an interesting life.
But they also wrote him like to be that interesting character in the movie. You know?
Exactly.
They didn't like make him a boring ass like scientists.
Yeah, whereas here it's just
they
like...
didn't have to show the background of like, oh, he not only made this thing as a kid, but he made it again in a science fair, and now he's making it again as an adult. It's like, skip over his fucking failures like a little bit, man. It's not necessary. Like, you could show one of them.
Yeah.
Pick one. Like, you don't have to show both the failed, like, one as a little kid and the science fair failure. Like, I know they're trying to be like, oh, there's a build-up, like, he was getting better. It's like, okay, like, but you could say that in a lot quicker way than show him both times.
Yeah, if anything,
I know it's like show, don't tell, but, like, in this case, it's like, tell a little and show the rest. Like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
Action stuff? Well, it's not nearly as exciting as watching it in the distance with a bunch of lifeless douchebags sitting around. We finally get some friggin' action, and it's not even the focus. How would you like it if an action scene in The Dark Knight was from a distance being watched by somebody else?
Here's your copy, Mr. Fox.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that...
Batman fighting the Joker? Yes.
Does that somehow seem less dramatic to you?
You're quite right. Hold these. Ah, much better. Sippy, sippy. Now this is exciting.
Right.
But don't worry, if this is too much out of your comfort zone, fear not. We go right back into talking in dark rooms again.
What if it takes more time to get it right? We could be talking years.
I am not going to be a tool.
Now that she's got her hair like that, I definitely see her as the psycho murder lady from American Horror Story Season 1.
Yeah.
Agrees. But it looks like Reed has been missing for a year or two. Yeah, it sure is hard to track a butt-naked scientist with no military training. However, he's eventually found by the army, who bring Ben in.
Oh my God, Ben.
So, this is where you've been hiding out.
Hey, where's your thing? I just thought of a good name for you. Whoop. Okay, finally we're gonna get some action. Well, that was short. Oh, wait. Out of the magnitude of variety we've had in this film so far, let me take a guess. A wild goddamn guess. What's coming up next? Oh my God! Why is this fantastic? Why is this fantastic? Your goddamn movie is called Fantastic Four, and you can't even get one fantastic thing in it. Why is talking in a goddamn dark room fantastic? What? Did you have an upbringing like the boy from Room? Is this literally all you know? Was the outside only explained to you in pictures and stories? If so, could you tell one of those stories?
Like, it makes sense, in my opinion, for literally one scene, and that's where they were talking about, like, turning it on and activating it.
Yeah.
Because they were there, like, after hours, and they were the only ones there, so the lights being off kind of made sense. But in all these other scenes, like, it doesn't need to be this stupidly lit like this.
Yeah.
I think that's horseshit! Ah! An outside scene! Take it away! Ah! That's better!
Do you ever wonder what life would have been like if he hadn't come to the science fair that day?
We could have been sitting in a dark room with table lamps. Table lamps!
Reed is back. We're closer than we've ever been before.
Closer to what?
The end credits. We can finally star in real movies again. They return to Planet Burnt Brownie, where they discover Doom is alive and well. Hey, trust me, as long as this movie is still going, Doom will always be alive and well.
You want to know how I survived? That place gave me strength.
Okay, I know it's a comic book adaptation, there have to be some changes, but what is with Fox's obsession of turning Marvel characters into Slipknot crash test dummies? Is this the one design they think exists? It's getting a little old. Hell, it was never that interesting to begin with.
Yeah.
This movie really is the master of throwing boring, uninteresting things at you in a movie that's called fantastic. Christ, what do you think their design for the climax is? That friggin' portal in the sky cliche?
Yep.
Nostalgia critic?
He's gone.
He gone, Rob. As in, out the door. Gone. Oh no, he dead.
I was gonna say, it was about to remind me of a conversation I had with my assistant manager at the music store. It's like, yeah, so if you come in and I'm not here tomorrow, you know what happened? And it's like, yeah, I imagine that's when I was just walking in and like literally the store's open and stuff, but nobody's there working, and it's just like, I understand completely what happened.
Exactly, yeah. It's like
because working there was bullshit for numerous reasons.
Exactly.
And I would not be at all surprised if someone snapped and walked out without telling anybody and just leaving the store like it was at some point.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's just, let's just keep going.
Do you remember Chi-Town, Mr. Critic? It'll be spring soon, and the orchards will be in blossom, and the birds will be nesting in the hazel thicket, and they'll be sowing the summer barley in the lower fields, and eating the first of the strawberries with cream. Do you remember the taste of strawberries? No, Rob. I can't recall the taste of food, or the sound of originality. I'm naked in the dark. Ew, a dark room, just talking and talking, doing nothing but talking. With that cliche, that portal staring at me. I can see it with my bored eyes. Then let us be rid of it once and for all. I can't carry that cliche, Mr. Critic, but I can carry you.
Actually, no, you can't, Rob. Fireman's carry.
Or, you know, you could just finish the damn review.
Yeah, I guess that's an option.
Yeah.
This was weird. What we just did right here.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you might be wondering, where the hell did this destroy the world thing suddenly come from? Especially from a guy with such a cuddly name like Doom. Well, I'll give this movie some credit. Instead of having a huge exposition dump in 1 minute like before, this movie gives us at least 20 seconds more. Yup, in that short amount of time, he says that his life cycle is tied to that world, that he believes our world will destroy it, so he wants to destroy ours before it can get the jump on his world, and... Who cares? Thank you, clip from the obscure movie Screwed. You're right. Moving on. It looks like Professor Storm gets murdered. Oh, that just looks weird without a Jim Carrey song number going on. And our hero... Sorry, it was only 2 syllables and I still couldn't say it. These guys tried to stop him from sucking the world into his dimensional bullshit. Suck. But Victor is too powerful and figures out ways to stop all of them.
Victor, don't do this!
There is no Victor. There is only Doom.
I'm not wasting the clip on you. Fantastic Four eventually get the drop on it.
Alright, it's clobbering time!
Yeah, in the context of the movie, that line really should be, what my brother said before he beat me up still lacking relevance! Yay, we did! Whatever we did!
We'd like to continue our existing relationship.
We don't need you or anybody else to keep an eye on us.
We just want a place where we can work.
And what if we say no?
Say yes. How much space are we talking about?
I'm actually so disinterested in what's going on. I am actually more curious in who took how many rolls from that plate. Okay, only Johnny seemed to take one. He apparently didn't finish it. The others had coffee, but nobody drank their water. Dude, that guy was on fire. I think he would at least have some water. These are the biggest concerns I'm coming out of this movie with.
Huh.
So they're given their own location to continue to test out their powers because the Lord knows we haven't seen enough of that in these movies, as they seem to interact off each other.
I think that the 4 of us should have a name.
Why would we need a name?
Because we're a team now, and there's 4 of us, so we should come up with a name for it.
How about 2 guys, a girl, and the thing that nobody wanted?
Hey, we both know that you could take him.
Jesus, I'm beginning to see why you didn't give them personalities. Their relationships to the roles was more interesting.
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. Guys, I got it.
Oh, we didn't have to say it out loud, but you still had to take a movie with a guy named Von Doom seriously. Piss off. And that was Fant4stic. It's bad. Really bad. The other Fantastic Four movies failed too.
Looked
but
like they
failed in
superheroed for all of like 5 minutes.
They did. That's it.
Like, what?
Yeah. They also...
It was entirely like a prologue for like a superhero group. Like, how is that worth making an entire movie out of?
Also, I will say this. There was one part in this film that was actually kind of cool. Although, it is kind of silly when you look back on it. There's a part where we're following this random dude. We're following this random dude, and he gets in a car and starts driving off. But then all of a sudden, we see like his face, and he like starts like straining a little bit, and we see that it's Reed. Reed actually like morphed his face to look like somebody else, so that he wouldn't be recognized. And then, of course, you know, that whole deal, I thought that was actually kind of cool, but then it was just like, that still doesn't justify the stupidity of this film. Still doesn't justify it at all.
Over-the-top way that at least tried to embrace the look and corniness of the comic. It's like it's ashamed to have anything to do with Fantastic Four or comic books in general. In fact, when you add them all together, the Hammer film is still the only one where they choose to fight crime, and they're not the ones who cause all the destruction they're fighting against. How does that happen? How does that happen in 2 reboots you're trying to make better? All I can say is there's a right way and a wrong way to do dark, gritty comic book material, and this is definitely the wrong way. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and I'm just done. No, I'm done, guys. This movie took a lot out of me.
But, okay. Now what are we supposed to do?
Oh, no.
Oh, Fox, why won't you let us play with the Avengers and Spider-Man?
Oh, don't worry. We still have plans for you.
You don't, do you?
Not a thing.
Nope.
And you get to suffer for it. Now, continue being anything but what you really are.
Flame on!
I think you mean lights out.
Yeah.
So if you go back to his original like intro where he's showing the clips from the movie.
Yeah.
Fant4stic!
Like, his edit here actually makes it look like it could have been a cool movie.
Fox's disastrous reboot of the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four franchise was not only a critical, audience, and box office portal of suck, but even the director expressed his disappointment on Twitter before the film came.
Like, all of those scenes together, like, make it look like there's something there.
Yeah.
But, like, it wasn't anything like that.
Nope. Once again, I really would love to have seen Josh Trank's version of this film. Would it have been any better? Couldn't be worse than what we got.
I mean, unless the producers were doing, like, ridiculous amounts of reshoots without him, there was still some problems I could see from a directorial standpoint in there. I mean, at least maybe it could have been a better plot, like, overall or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It still probably would have been full of dark rooms.
Yeah, the the development and the filming and the production, yeah, it's just yeah,
I think the visual effects company was decent.
Should I go into great detail? She implied the discomfort came from the questionable direction, stating, "Yeah, I think that speaking up is something. Never stood up for myself. I regret that for sure." Once again, I did a cut of a great film, and you'll never see. Oh yeah, Toby Kebbell, who played or Cabell, who played Doom. I tell you, the honest truth is, Trank did cut a great film, and that you'll never see. It's a shame. A much darker version, and you'll never see it. Further some of the film by removing it from his Instagram filmography. Damn. So yeah, there you go. Well, $155 or $120 million, and that's what we got. That is... Oh, that's sad. But, anywho, I don't know what else to say about this except for... Boo. Can we go back? Can we not? Yeah, there it is. Dissatisfied with director's original cut, Fox executives mandated reshoots, which took place in January 2015. And I guarantee you they hired someone else to do the reshoots. I don't know. But, anywho.
If they did reshoots, they could have ended up adding all those dark room scenes themselves then.
Probably.
Maybe it wasn't all dark rooms originally.
Well,
they really fudged the bucket.
Yes, they did. They really did a number on this.
Glad I didn't ever go watch this.
9%. Jesus, that is bad. All right, everyone, thank you all very much for tuning in, and until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
Be good people. Take care. Peace.